Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled Stop Focusing on What Doesn't Matter and Focus on What Does Matter. As a society, and I'll include myself in this, we often fixate on things that simply don't matter. These distractions may provoke emotions like frustration or offense, but they rarely have a meaningful impact on our lives. Despite this, we invest energy into them. And I think it's because humans have an inherent fascination with drama. Just look around. For decades, tabloids have thrived on gossip. Now, websites like TMZ and other digital gossip hubs dominate because we collectively love to consume drama. It's wired into us, but this tendency comes at a cost. When we're consumed by things that don't matter, we lose sight of what does. Drama is like a vortex, pulling us in deeper the more we engage with it. At first, it might feel harmless, an argument here, some gossip there, but over time, it becomes an all consuming cycle. And the problem is, the deeper you go, the harder it becomes to refocus. Drama clouds your judgment and distracts you from meaningful goals, relationships, and experiences. It leads you to spend your days tangled in stress, giving your attention to things that won't matter next month, let alone next year. It's no wonder people often feel lost when they spend so much energy chasing things that don't bring fulfillment. When we let drama take over, it's not just our emotional energy that's drained, it steals time, focus, and productivity. Think about how many hours are lost arguing with strangers in online comment sections or obsessing over the latest internet feud. That's time you could have spent nurturing relationships, working toward a personal goal, or simply enjoying life. Maybe you're not as productive at work because you're scrolling through meaningless content. Maybe you're not present with your kids because your mind is caught up in a social media debate. It's frightening how much of our lives we surrender to distractions. I know this because I've done it too. I've wasted more time than I'd like to admit on things that had no real impact on my life. I've gotten caught up in pointless arguments or let petty issues consume more mental space than they deserved. And every time I step back and reflect, I realize how absurd it was to care about those things. Social media plays a huge role in this. Platforms are designed to hold our attention, often by feeding us negativity, conflict, and controversy. Breaking free of that grip isn't easy, but it's necessary if we want to reclaim our focus and happiness. The truth is, what matters varies from person to person. For some, it's their family. For others, it's their career, creative pursuits, or even finding peace in their day to day life. What's important is that each individual takes the time to figure out what truly matters to them. It could be anything: your kids, your health, your hobbies, or your faith. For one person, what matters might be spending time with loved ones. For another, it could be pursuing a passion they've always dreamed of. There's no one size fits all answer. But the moment you identify your priorities, everything changes. When you start to focus on what matters, life becomes more meaningful. You find yourself less weighed down by the trivial, and instead you channel your energy into what brings you purpose. That shift can be transformative. Instead of worrying about fleeting, insignificant things, you're investing in what fulfills you. You become more productive, more engaged, and more content. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Even small changes can make a big difference. One of the biggest challenges, though, is letting go of what doesn't matter. Many of us are so deeply entrenched in the habit of focusing on the unimportant that it feels almost impossible to break free. Worrying about what people think of us is a prime example. How many times have you hesitated to wear something you like or go out without makeup because you feared judgment? How often have you wondered if others were silently critiquing you? But here's the thing: none of that really matters. How you look or dress is no one else's business, and the opinions of others don't define your worth. When you start caring less about external validation, you open yourself up to a world of freedom. You stop living for others and start living for yourself. It's liberating, but it takes effort to unlearn the habits of worrying about what doesn't matter. It's a process of rewiring your mindset, one decision at a time. And while it's not easy, the results are worth it. The less you concern yourself with trivial opinions, the more energy you have to focus on what truly matters to you. Breaking free from the cycle of focusing on the insignificant isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, but with time and effort, it's achievable. The first step is awareness. Start by recognizing when you're investing energy into something that doesn't deserve it. Ask yourself, will this matter to me a year from now, 5 years from now? If the answer is no, let it go. Instead, redirect your attention to the things that genuinely bring value to your life. When you focus on what matters, positivity follows. It's not just about avoiding negativity, it's about actively choosing to prioritize the good in your life. You'll find that the more you do this, the less space there is for drama, stress, or conflict. Life begins to feel lighter, more purposeful, and more fulfilling. You're no longer weighed down by things that don't deserve your energy. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Challenges will still arise and distractions will still tempt you. But when you know what matters most to you, it's easier to stay grounded. You learn to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose instead of getting lost in the noise. That clarity is a gift, one that many of us don't realize we're missing until we experience it. I think it's worth emphasizing that life is too short to waste on the unimportant. Time is our most valuable resource, and once it's gone, we can't get it back. Why spend it on things that don't bring you joy or purpose? Why let the trivial steal moments that could have been spent on something meaningful? It's not about ignoring reality or avoiding problems. It's about making intentional choices about where your energy goes. For me, this journey of refocusing has been a work in progress. I still catch myself slipping into old habits, but I'm learning to pull myself out more quickly. And every time I do, I feel more at peace, more in control, and more connected to what really matters in my life. It's not an easy path, but it's one I believe is worth walking. And if you choose to walk it too, I think you'll find that your life becomes richer, fuller, and more fulfilling in ways you never imagined. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.